Hey there, welcome to this free demo on stamping basics. I'm Lisa Niven Kelly, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know to get started with stamping. So just a quickie about the tools. You definitely need a letter set. This set is letters and numbers. And what I like about this one is it comes in this box with a slot for each letter. It seems a little silly, but when you're stamping and you're looking for the D, you need to know exactly where it is rather than everything crammed together. Also, this set comes with a little groove on each shank. That's where your thumb goes, so that you always have your letters facing the right way. Trust me, I've had some sideways E's. That's super helpful. So you need letters. You need a bench block to put underneath your metal that you're going to be stamping and pressing onto. That's absolutely necessary. I work with this 2x2, but there's bigger and smaller. The ones that I don't like are it's like a little anvil shape, like the one the coyote used to drop on the Roadrunner's head, and that one is just a little bit too tall, so it's a little awkward to stamp on. I like these flat rectangle ones. So stamp set, bench block, and a nice household hammer. Please do not stamp with your jewelry hammer. You will ruin the head of your hammer with the first couple of whacks. So the back of these stamps will ding up your hammer. So I got this bad boy for a whopping $5 down at Home Depot. It is a 16-ounce hammer. I recommend 16 ounces or a little bit heavier. The lighter ones just don't have enough strength behind the blow, so you have to hit the stamp a couple of times. I like the 16-ounce hammer, and I hold it about here for good control, not way back here where you're going to injure your thumb. Done it. What else? You're going to need some metal to stamp on. There's a lot of blanks out there. You can cut metal yourself from sheet metal, different shapes, whatever, ready-made pendants. You'll see a lot of things. Just keep your eyes open at your local bead store and such, looking for silver or any metal blanks that you can impress into. If you are going to use something like a circle and you're going to make it into a pendant, you're going to need a way to pop a hole. So if you have a drill, a Dremel, or Fordham, that would be great. Or maybe a screw down hole punch. This works nice. Or hole punch pliers. Other than that, you're probably going to need a ruler. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, centering your words. And perhaps some design stamps to snazz it up a bit. That just about covers it. So hopefully you've got all this stuff. Let's get it together, and I'm going to demo stamping for you. So I'm all set here to get started stamping. I've got my 16-ounce hammer, my letter set, a ruler, some blanks, bench block, and a little piece of practice sheet metal. Before I get started though, I wanted to show you up close and personal the difference here in the size of the letter sets that we spoke about earlier. So right here you can see I've got 3 size A's. This bigger one here is 1/8. The middle one is 3/32, and that's 1/16. Those are all of an inch. 1/8 of an inch, 3/32 of an inch, 1/16. You can hardly see the 1/16. It's pretty small. I've stamped them here on my practice sheet metal so you can kind of see the difference. And let me show you kind of how they look on a ruler, if that helps at all. So there you have it. The 3/32, the middle size one, is the most popular. That's the one I use the most. And let me show you real quick some design stamps up close and personal. So here's just a gathering of the different design stamps. We sell about 22 of them here on beachcation.com, and they are snazzy. If you're just getting started, you definitely want to practice a little bit on a piece of practice sheet metal. This is just copper. It's about 24 gauge in thickness, and it's a good one to practice on. Just grab a letter. Don't worry when you're practicing about spelling things perfect. We're first just going to work on your whack, which is the power behind the blow, and spacing between letters and top to bottom. So I start by using this edge right here. I sort of pretend like that is the center of my blank or the edge of my flat wire if I'm doing a cuff, but it's a good way to start practicing your spacing. I'm first going to talk about the whack though. So I hit it just once. That seems to work for me. I'm going to show you the impressions in a second. Some people like to hit it more than once. That's fine too. You definitely can overhit it. So let me just hit it way too hard. Now I'm going to do one super soft and let you see the difference. So you can see here these last ones. Let me see if I can get it close for you. This last one here, this S, you see how I caught like a little corner up there? There's a little line. That's because I was hitting it way too hard. And this S is super soft, so that when I oxidize it, the oxidation's probably just going to pull right out. So you want to find a happy medium, like these first two ones that I did are much better. Okay, so that's the power behind your whack. Now spacing, I'm going to shift it so we can see it better. You want to get it left to right, not too close to each other so that they overlap, and not too far apart so it doesn't look like a word anymore. What works for me is, depending on your eyesight and the light above you, if you just tip your letter down, you can see down under there. There's no way you're going to be able to see it on this video, but I can see the reflection of the S on the metal, so I know exactly where it's going to be if I just tip it up. Let me reline that so I make sure. And that's pretty good spacing. That's one trick. Keep in mind too, like we talked about, this S isn't necessarily squared on the tip of this shank, so you do have to line up the letter, not the whole shank. So there's my S's. Let me see, there we go. It's kind of shiny here. You can see they're lined up pretty good. You're never really going to get them perfect. Don't worry too much about that.